again this weekend, this time on Sunday, just having a walk out by myself with the dogs this time, as last weekend's walk flared up Nick's injury, so she's having a rest this weekend. So I'm up at Kidland Forest today. I'm going to have a look at a different route to do Wether Cairn, which is another trig point on my list of things to do. I'm just scouting it out today to see if there's an easier route. I have done this trig point before, but it was on a 17-mile loop from Ingram Valley. So this time I'm going to try and find a different route, especially for this weather this morning, covered in fog and mist. I was going to head up to Cheviot to see if I can catch an inversion, but it would have been really boggy and messy up there this morning. So thought I'd come through the woodland to start. Hopefully by dinner time, apparently it should have cleared up. There's hardly a breath of air, which is why the mist's lingering around this morning. So hopefully by the time it warms up a little bit, that disappears. Should be able to get the drone out today, fingers crossed, even if it's just low level. But we'll see. But very still in the valley this morning, so we'll see how we'll get on. I'm really fighting the guys this morning here. 3 of them are very excited to go see those sheep up there. Really excited to see the sheep. Morning. Here's Milo again, puddle hopping. Then he moves back into the middle of the path where he's been walking, just so he can hit the next puddle. The state of him. And you've got Mr. here on the right who likes to avoid every puddle. His legs is nice and clean. And Milo is literally diverting to every puddle. Normally when I visit this valley, I have done once or twice in the past. I normally park in Alwynton. I think it's about £2 all day parking, or you can park on a grass verge, and I think there's an honesty box there. But I normally just stick it in their designated car park. And normally you'd walk in over this ridge line here. So up here and along here, there's actually a track which brings you down. There's a gate around the corner there, and that would bring you into Kidland Forest itself, or one of the ways. There's other ways, but normally you probably have to do a little bit of hill walking before you get there. So as I just mentioned there, this is the route you would take to go to Alwynton. According to the sign there, it's 2.5 miles, and this track takes you up and along the ridge and over the top there in Alwynton itself. So that's the way you would normally come to this area. Well, I've normally travelled to this area. Judging by the amount of mist and everything that's around this morning, I should have probably went and done a wild camp somewhere high up last night, with the air being so still and it not being that cold. I would have hoped that this mist might have settled down right into the valleys as it is at the moment still. You can see over there it's still quite low. And then I probably would have had a really nice cloud inversion this morning. However, I got given a tent, a lovely tent, off my uncle, and I did a wild camp a few months ago now, and it actually it leaked, but it was put up to the test. It was in about 40-mile-an-hour winds on top of Headshope, poured down from the heavens and started to leak eventually. So to get it home, I've cleaned it up, taken the old seam tape off, put new seam sealer on, apart from a couple. I just ran out of seam sealer, so I've ordered some more to do that. Need to wash the tent, re-waterproof it, and then it's good to go again. So hopefully when we get some better weather, I'll be able to get the tent pitched up, cleaned properly, re-waterproofed, and hopefully get out and do a little bit of wild camp before it gets too cold. All the gear I've really got for wild camping is kind of summer gear, but I do believe that the tent is a 4-season tent, so hopefully I just need to invest in a newer air mat, insulated air mat, and a better down sleeping bag for the winter months. So watch this space. So I've been walking for about 2.3 miles now, maybe for the last half an hour, just over 40 minutes. And come towards the entrance to Kidland Forest itself. Some of the colours look absolutely fantastic. Not that the camera will probably pick them up. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stop, give the dogs a little drink out the stream, and maybe even see if I can get the drone out quickly, see if I can get a quick flight, try and get some footage low level with the mists here, as it seems to be lifting and breaking up now, so hopefully it's clearer later on. I should be able to get quite a few drone flights in today, but we'll bring you back in a bit. Hopefully if the drone footage turns out any good, I'll pop it in. So I'm about 4 miles in now, according to the watch. Hitting the first bit of decent elevation to climb. Views this morning, even though I'm in woodland, are just stunning. If it was a bit more light, or I did this walk golden hour, even better again, but hopefully the drone footage comes out alright. And we'll see what the rest of the day holds. It's supposed to get sunny later on. Whether it does or not as I gain elevation, I don't know, but I was going to head up Cushat Low first and then drop around to Wether Cairn. I have done it that way before, from the top of Cushat Low to Wether Cairn. The ground's pretty boggy and it is pretty wet up here. So I think, after looking at the map, I'm going to stick in the woodland, do it more of a, just follow the tracks and trail that we're walking on at the minute. And there appears to be an old fire break in the woodland, which I should be able to get through, and hopefully at the top of Wether Cairn. The mist and fog's lifting, getting a little bit of blue sky, but the top of Cushat Low, white out. so I don't really see the point in putting the extra effort in to do that, and I'm already 4.5 miles into the walk and I don't even think I'm at the halfway point. So I'm going to swing round the woods, go up to Wether Cairn. Hopefully the breeze stops gentle the way it is, hopefully get some footage off from the top of there, and then I think there's a couple of crags or what looks like ravines on the west map. I'm probably going to try and make my way across to them from the top of Wether Cairn on to Puncherton Hill, I think it's called. Go across there, then drop back into the valley to where I began. Hopefully off the top of Puncherton Hill, if it's clear, I'll be able to use the drone again and get some more footage off the top of there, just flying over the valley. I have got 3 batteries with the drone. I've used one this morning and I've got another 2 to use, so fingers crossed. So I must admit, normally if I'm out walking areas I know I've been to before, I never bring a map because I know the area as well. I've been there for years. When I explore a new area, I go somewhere different, I always bring a paper map with us, exactly where I'm going to go. I normally study the maps before I set off, or a couple of days before I set off, just so in the event I forget it or the wind takes it and I have to go find it, I've got a rough idea and I'll be able to remember so much, or I'll be able to remember landmarks. I do use it on my phone, but proven point this morning, even though I've got it on my phone, first 4.5 miles of the walk, no signal, no data, nothing, so I couldn't even access the maps on the app. However, I have learnt in the past that if I open the app at home and leave it on the map, roughly where I'm going to go, once I get there, because the app's already open, I can normally hit the GPS button on the map and it shows exactly where I am. But if for some reason you close the app, you won't get it back without data signal, or your phone battery dies, or you fall and break your phone, or there's many other reasons and scenarios. So having a paper map in a waterproof case, or waterproof map, is definitely a good idea to carry, especially when you're exploring somewhere new. Well, don't I feel like a bit of an idiot? Always saying take a map, know where you are, where you're going. Too busy dawdling along, looking at the views, and walked past the way I was supposed to have turned. Something didn't look right. I thought I would have been somewhere else in a different direction. Got data signal, managed to have a look on the app to exactly where I was, and I've walked past the turn. I think it's where I said there's a signpost that says right, that looks like it used to be a trail. I should have turned slightly before then. But it serves us right for not keep checking the map. I'm already, I think, 8 miles in. Now doing a U-turn because I want to go to the top of Wether Cairn. So I think I'm going to get to the point where I need to cut off, which I believe could be that signpost. But I want to see if there's a fire break make a detour, try and cut through an old fire break or something somewhere and pick up where I actually want to be. Don't know whether I'll visit the ravines or not. We'll see what I feel like. It's 8 miles in. Could be a 16-mile walk by the end of the day by the looks of it, but a cup of coffee and a sandwich before I start going off trails and making life more difficult for myself. So I'll bring you back. One thing I've learned in the past is if I do get lost or slightly off a beaten trail or beaten track and the map doesn't exist anymore, always look for animal tracks and trails. Normally, don't know how right this is, but normally they're the least paths of resistance, so you can normally get through to where you want to be by following their tracks. Normally they're used quite often by the animals, so they know where they're going, and I would have thought they would have made the easiest route possible for themselves, so I'll just stick with this trail that these are on. And try not to fall down in the mud and break a leg. So I'll bring you back when I'm out of this rubbish. So I'm back on the track again after that detour. Serves us right for not reading the map often enough. Got me left hand turn mixed up with another one. So back on the main track now. I'll follow this for a little bit. I think all in all, looking at the map roughly, maybe I don't know, might have went a kilometre out the way or so. Not much. So note to self, check the map often. And if I do have a rough idea of where I'm going, upload it to my watch. And my watch will keep us right. That's really accurate. So always a note for next time. Every day is a school day. But there's some fantastic views. And that's the hill. We've just come over here, and next to that tree line is where I sat and had a cup of coffee. So we've come up and over, back down onto the main track. I've already come from over that direction. Wooden cart's quite a size turn to miss. I don't know, put it down to experience. There's a lovely place to stop for a cup of coffee anyway, so take the positives out of it. So, according to the map, if I've read it correctly, if I follow this track up, it comes to a dead end and then to a fire break. I want to find a large fire break in the woodland, cut through that, and that should bring us out onto the open moorland and then take a right towards Wether Cairn. I don't know what the views are going to be like. Here we are, top of Wether Cairn. Don't worry Nick, I'll not be bringing you this way, that's for sure. We're going that way on the track. I was hoping to get the drone out again. The weather looked great, but it's coming in very cloudy, and we're not that far underneath the cloud as it is, so the breeze is up. I don't know, it feels about 15 miles an hour or something, which I should be able to fly the drone in to an extent. But obviously the more elevation you get, the stronger the winds normally. So we'll see, I might lose a little bit of elevation first before thinking about getting the drone out if I get a chance. But I think we're going to have 5 minutes in this sort of little shelter here. I just cut across that ravine there, and there was another cow or bull at the top of the hill. It seemed would drop down and come back up and decided to hightail it and do a runner. So hopefully When we get to the top of this brow, he hasn't went and getting all of his mates and they're waiting for us, but we'll see. But this is the valley below, which I think when I get to a certain point away from the cattle and I can get the dogs settled, I'll get the drone out. So we've come from up there, follow the tree line, cut up the ravine, and that's the view across the valley there, and the car's in the valley over the other side. So we'll get up the top of this little hill and we'll see what surprises are waiting for. Yep, he's went and got his mates. I think we'll turn right. Gee! So I'm busy skirting around out of the line of sight from the cattle. They don't know him, well they know I'm here because they've seen us, but they can't smell us, or the dogs, because the wind's in my face. So dogs know they're there, they don't know we've disappeared to. So hopefully I'll pop back up on this trail, should be around the other side of the cattle. Let's just hope they don't try and follow. I don't think I could eat steak at the minute, I'm pretty full after them snacks. I can't believe he went and got his mates though. A bit too many for me to take on. Like, I definitely won't be able to eat the chips as well. Well guys, I've just had the drone out there again. I was losing light and I'm thinking, what time is it? It's 20 past 3. I think sunset's at 5 past 4 today, so I want to make like double time, but I'm still a couple of kilometres away from the car. And I've got a little bit of incline to go, yeah, because I've lost quite a bit of height. There's a place on the map called Ravens Crag and Kitty Crag, which I wanted to fly the drone past, but that'll be another trip out I think. So I'm going to climb up the side of Puncherton Hill, then onto the Dod, might get the drone out again before I lose the light, then back to the car for sunset. So I'm going to push on, bring us back in a bit. Well, on the final leg to the car now. You can see it's less than half a mile away, so did get the drone out when I got off the top of the Dod back into the valley, but it's just too dark. I don't think the footage will come out or anything, to be honest with you, so I'll probably not bother putting that in. I'm not going to film anymore, that's me done for this adventure, so thank you very much for watching.